Cześć, witam Was serdecznie w tym filmie. Hello, welcome in my video. This video is for my students who want to know what's going on, what will happen during our lessons, or what is going on during our lessons, especially for those who have not started the lessons and they would like to know the method. This is also a video for those who would like to get the basics of total physical response method, because this video is about it, and for students who might have had some problems. I mean, if you can't catch up in a class with this method, especially in Polish, you can learn a little bit more, because I will give translations for those comments that we use, and that might be useful for you. So let's move on. I can move this like this. So first, in this method, a very important thing is that the teacher first gives commands and then the student responds. Of course, the teacher has to model the commands. So for example, right now I am not like this. Let me move this camera. I am sitting. Yes, you can see I am sitting. So the teacher, by modeling, of course, can teach the first command: stand up. This is an imperative: stand up. So the student has to wstań, and I stood up. Yes, wstań is the command, and I can say usiądź, usiądź, sit down, sit down. And the idea is to sit down. Wstań, usiądź. This is the first thing that we can suggest to our students. One of the first things. The other first thing that I like is breathe in, wdech, breathe out, wydech, wdech, wydech. I try to make those noises as loud as possible, because then the students can hear what's going on. Why this particular exercise why do I find it important? Because there is this difference at the beginning. If you hear carefully, wdech, wydech. First two sounds is w in the first one, and w. It's in, out in Polish, and it can be used in many, for example, verbs of movement. So wdech, it's in, and wydech, it's out. And then I just to make some relax. Uśmiech. I say uśmiech. So smile, not to smile. Wdech, wydech, uśmiech. These are four nouns actually. It's not a command, because we don't use a command. Wdychać powietrze. Wdechnij. That sounds weird. So wdech, wydech. In English, I would use breathe in, breathe out. Yes, this is easy. So these are the things. Yes, the first things that we can do during such a lesson. What next? Next we can this here. Not this. We can prepare, like here. I've done a few items. Those few items can be used during our lesson. So for example, a cup, kubek, ballpen, długopis, książka, a book, woda, water, or butelka, bottle, ołówek, a pencil. So first thing is to present those things and say, okay, kubek, without anything more, so that the students can connect the sounds with the thing. The next thing is when I have to learn this gimbal. I received it. It's a great thing. And then I say, to jest kubek. To jest książka. So they get to jest, that is a kind of introducing something. So this is to jest. And with this I can present more things. later. To jest klawiatura. To jest mikrofon. To jest lampa. Not too many at the beginning, because there might be a temptation to teach too many words. And then we can ask the students, co to jest? And the student has to answer, to jest kubek. Of course, this is if we don't want to students to have the silent period. If you want to have them, this part when they don't have to speak because they don't feel comfortable or for any other reason, we might ask just start using show. In English, it's easy because a cup and show a cup, it's the same form. In Polish, it's a different form, but then I just tell the students that the words are similar, they're not identical. So if you struggle with this in Polish, remember, kubek and pokaż kubek in this case is the same, but książka, book, and pokaż książkę, show the book, it's different. Książka, książkę, but it's still the same thing. It doesn't matter. You don't have to, at the beginning, you just have to understand what to do. So, pokaż książkę, and I show the book. Pokaż kubek. Pokaż długopis. And the student has to show those things. After, breathe in, breathe out, stand up, sit down, and showing these things, we can repeat the whole process so that they repeat, and then we can start mixing them. So, for example, breathe in, show the book, breathe out. Of course, it depends on you. Then we can introduce something more difficult, and I will show you with the example of the books. I have 3 books here. Pokaż książkę, to jest książka. As you can see, it's written in this old German script, so I hope this is clearly an old book, and it's quite small. So I can say stara książka, and I can show nowa książka, nowa książka. Stara książka, nowa książka. And I can say, then show the new book. Pokaż nową książkę. And the student has to show this. Pokaż dużą książkę, and I can show this one. It's a big one. Duża książka, a big book. Pokaż dużą książkę. And I do it on purpose so that I will show you. You can see the difference. Yes, this book, big and small. These are the items I have here, but then I can use pokaż książkę po polsku, show the book in Polish. Pokaż książkę po niemiecku, show the book in English. Pokaż książkę po angielsku, Pokaż książkę po angielsku. With the introduction of these in Polish, in English, in German, then I can introduce the word mów, speak. Mów, mów po polsku. So I will do like move, and this hand is my fellow teacher that gives comments to me. Mów po polsku. Dzień dobry, to jest książka, to jest lampa. Mów po angielsku. Good morning, this is a book, this is a lamp. Mów po niemiecku. Guten Tag, das ist ein Buch, das ist eine Lampe. And so on. Of course, I can ask students to use their native tongue. Mów po japońsku, speak Japanese. I can't speak Japanese, so I won't do it here. Mów po. And then I can add words like loud, aloud, głośno, or quiet, cicho. Mów głośno po angielsku. I can speak English and this is wonderful. Mów cicho po polsku. Dzień dobry. My name is... Przepraszam. Mów cicho po polsku. Dzień dobry. Mam na imię Jan. So you can see I can say this loud, loud, and quiet. Cicho, quiet, loud, głośno. And then the way of speaking is according to this. I can also use the words fast and slow. Fast, szybko, slow, wolno. So I can say, speak fast. Speak fast in Polish. Dzień dobry, nazywam się Janoko. Speak slowly in German. Guten Tag, mein Name ist... Of course, the teacher has to show it even exaggerated so that the students understand the word. Each these little word has to be introduced step by step, like not too many at a time. And then right now, I just do it one after another. But it's good if you repeat those things. Everyone in the class has to be engaged. So you have to ask every person in the class. The same as if you ask students to respond or to give commands to other students. Yes, so that's also make sure that everyone is engaged. Of course, this engagement doesn't have to be direct. Not everyone has to speak if they don't feel comfortable with it. And if we have these, let's say you want to introduce more languages, you can introduce if the group is multilingual. The same way you can introduce colors, because to jest zielony kubek and mały kubek. And to jest niebieski kubek and duży kubek. That's a blue and big cup. Of course, like here you can see it's all colors. It's also white, green, and brown here. And it's my cup of tea. Herbata. And this is what I used to show, herbata. And the same is with this. Niebieska książka, blue book. It doesn't have to be perfectly blue, of course. It's good when it's like dominant color, but it doesn't have to be like this. And you've heard niebieski kubek, niebieska książka, because Polish language has genders. So kubek is he, and the book is she, so it has different endings. Pokaż niebieski kubek, pokaż niebieską książkę would be the commands to show. Show the blue cup, pokaż niebieski kubek. Show the blue book, pokaż niebieską książkę. They're different, but you can still understand as a student. I hope, at least. You don't have to produce it. You don't have to say it yet. The most important thing is to understand. And then if you produce, in my opinion, at the beginning, if you just say pokaż niebieska książka, which is wrong, if the student says this to another student, the teacher can just correct, pokaż niebieską książkę, and the student repeats it. Pokaż niebieską książkę, maybe twice, and then someone else does this thing. So we can easily introduce some adjectives, grammar genders, cases. Co to jest niebieska książka? Pokaż niebieską książkę. These are the first things. Then, what I do is, sometimes I do it before the adjective, sometimes after, depends like how the thing plays out. Lewa ręka and prawa ręka. I can't show you the right hand. I'm holding my phone with this. So, co to jest? To jest lewa ręka. And then in Polish, when we want to say show the cup with your left hand, we don't use you, but we use a different case. So, pokaż kubek lewą ręką. Pokaż... Oh, maybe I should do it. Anyway. Pokaż książkę prawą ręką. And I use my right hand. I'm using my right hand. So, lewa ręka lewą ręką, prawa ręka prawą ręką. This is the difference. You can use it at your lesson to introduce another difference, another phrase. And again, the student doesn't have to like understand it perfectly what's going on with the system. The most important thing for the student is to do the thing that he or she is asked to do. Of course, the students, if you can get a written list of comments, especially if they know the Latin alphabet already, they can write the comments more or less as they sound in their mother tongues. There are different opinions about this. Some people say it's not good, just focus on listening. Some people would prefer this. In a perfect environment, I'd say it's better not to write, so that the students think more of just understanding at the beginning. They have the silent period. That's difficult, however, because many of the students want to speak. They just want to speak from lesson 1. And these things go from lesson to lesson. Few lessons go with this. Of course, that doesn't have to be the only thing. You can, even if you don't want to use a grammar book or a book, any textbook, you can start things like cześć, hello, jestem, I am, jestem, Jan, I am Jan, that's my name. And then students can introduce themselves if they want. You can, in Polish, I can also introduce, my name is, mam na imię Jan, nazywam się Jan Oko, so I am called, literally, Jan Oko, and this is more formal. That's why I use my name and surname. And then I can introduce questions. Jak się nazywasz? And then the answer would be, I don't know, John Smith. Jak masz na imię? Mam na imię Jan. Of course, this has to be the best if the teacher can play it out him or herself first with this friend. You can make this friend. Hello! Jak masz na imię? Mam na imię Jan. Jak się nazywasz? Nazywam się Jan Oko. Well, actually, I'm thinking of buying this puppet that I could use it. I don't know. What do you think about this? Would it be a good idea to have a puppet here? So these are the first steps. And you can do more and more with these. You can have a map of a world map, and use countries. So what is this? Co to jest? To jest Polska. This is Poland. Where is Poland? Gdzie jest Polska? Polska jest w Europie. Poland is in Europe. And so you can use this introduce this in. Then later you can introduce in for w domu, at home, w domu, w pracy, at work, w szkole, at school. And these are the other things that can be used during a lesson. Also, what's important, use the things that are just happening. If a phone rings, you can use, telefon dzwoni, the phone is ringing, telefon dzwoni. Then you can zadzwoni, if the students have their numbers in a class, I can imagine in a classroom, yes, if the group knows each other, so they have each other phone numbers, you can say zadzwoń do, and give a name. Zadzwoń do Anny. Zadzwoń do Michała. And the student has to dial, or just choose the name from the list and call this person. And we can hear the students, the appropriate students' phone ringing. That can be a kind of a good idea by using the technology. Zadzwoń do. Then we can have another thing. If we have books, we can use the books to do this exercise. Okay, I will just lower this as... Otwórz książkę. Zamknij książkę. Open the book. Close the book. Very useful thing, in my opinion, because open and close, and then you can open and close. Otwórz okno, open the window. Zamknij okno. Otwórz drzwi, open the door. Zamknij drzwi. And sometimes we think, oh, it's a problem. Okay, the best would be if the students go to that said window and they really do open it. But sometimes it's not possible because of different reasons. So at least they can show, how is it opened. And it's quite interesting, because I said, w Polsce, otwórz okno w Polsce, and because we have this handle and we have to move it from vertical to horizontal position, and then we open the window, and it goes a little bit like the door opens. In England, you have to lift it. So otwórz okno w Polsce, otwórz okno w Anglii. Open the window in Poland, open the window in England, if we have this possibility with an English student. That's another way, another step that we can do. And using all the things that are around us. If I teach online, I use the words keyboard, klawiatura, myszka, mouse, ołówek and długopis. So the pencil and the pen are not so important, yes? But and then the last thing I can introduce, powiedz. So we used move, speak. Powiedz is say. So move is like just produce words, yes, without anything special. Powiedz, and this is a way of introducing repetitions and whatever. I can start with powiedz Polska. Polska. Say Poland, Poland. Powiedz książka. Książka. Say książka. Książka. Say book. Book. Then the next step can be powiedz książka po polsku. Książka. So say book in Polish, and the answer is książka. Powiedz książka po angielsku. Book. Okay. And the next step is how is to say book in Polish. Jak jest książka po polsku? Albo jak jest book po polsku? So it's how is book in Polish. That's most basic grammar that we can use for this sentence. We can introduce more complicated. Jak się mówi book po polsku? It depends on how much do we want to stress the students out. And then, but after this, students already have some ways of asking questions. Co to jest? To jest książka. Jak jest book po polsku? Książka. Or jak się mówi book po polsku? Książka. So the students have already some ways of asking for information that they need. So another goal. Of course, very often students don't know, so I use this gesture with my hands like this. Nie wiem. Nie wiem. I don't know. Nie wiem. And that gives them the opportunity to react to if they want to say something, of course, to react to questions, even at the beginning, like to simple like wstań, and they say nie wiem. That means that they don't understand, don't know, and you have to show them as a teacher again. Okay, I hope that this video, longer than I thought, but kind of showing a lot what you can do with this TPR method. And all these can be done by repetition. Remember, you have to not just rush through all those comments. You have to repeat them. You have to do with different students, so the students have both the chance to observe how is it done, observe it on you, as on the teacher, on other students, and on themselves. Yes. So that takes much more time. Use the things that really are. In my opinion, it's much better to use actual books. If you don't have books in all the colors, don't print pictures. Just bring 3 colors books and 3 color cups. Yes, that's more tangible. That's more easier to feel, and that's the way, in my opinion, that the students can, in a few first lessons. It can be just first lesson, it can be more than one, it can be also a part of each lesson. First 15-20 minutes, when the students learn new vocabulary, new phrases like this, they, as I said, the most important thing is that they don't have to understand why, what happens there, why are those changes, because at the beginning they have just to react correctly, and later they can repeat, but just repeat. They don't have to, again, they don't have to understand this. So after a few lessons, or maybe it's up to you. Ideally I would do it after a few lessons, but again, the ideal word doesn't exist, and the students want to speak from lesson one. So they can get a list of phrases and things they do, and the missing things can be written on Blackboard, so they can add it to the list they got. If you like the video, I hope you give it a thumbs up. If it was any use for you, or you have like your own comments or experiences, leave a comment, yes, and share your point of view. And if you like generally what I do, there is Patreon link there, and I would be grateful for any support there. Again, thank you very much, and hope to see you soon. Bye bye.